pproteus here. It is July 30th. Back for the Pauper challenge with Stompy. I've got a bit of an interesting build today. I looked at this hand and I said, well, I think I can do better, especially on the draw. But then instead of clicking start recording, I clicked keep. So I guess I'm stuck with it. It's not that bad. But not off to a good start today. I've created a new list specifically for this event. Many changes I chickened out of at the last minute. And the remnant of the extreme, doesn't look right testing changes is one gut shot in the main deck. We'll see how this goes, but yeah, I'm not feeling very hopeful after this. So Logic Gnaw indicates like Monoblue control. And this would be pretty good, except I can't really race. And yeah, drawing 2 lands in a row is the last thing I wanted here. So yeah, misclick, start off the tournament, kind of tilting. Opponent flipped their Delvers on time. I assume they're going to ponder. I mean, if I draw like, I guess I only have 2 turns to kill my opponent. So I probably should have cast Hunger. I didn't know they were going to flip the Delver. I was counting them not flipping, so I would have 3 turns. And if I get a 3rd turn, yeah, I should have just cast Hunger. I'm just not used to, like, it's just not the kind of thing. Oh man, I just concede, right? I don't want to show them any more cards because they're gonna hit me. They're gonna kill me 2 turns. I can't draw anything that gains life. I mean, I guess I could draw a Vault Scourge. That buys me a turn. All right, let's attack here. But they held up a mana instead of casting Ponder, right? No, I'm totally wrong. They did cast the Ponder. I don't know what they have then. Well, okay. Yeah, you know what? Let's just pretend this game didn't happen, because I can beat Monoblue decks. I guess I'm not giving away much information by casting Howl. Alright, that's game. I was hoping my opponent would like play a Spider Golem or something, because I don't know. Sometimes Delver plays 1 Logic Knot. So here is my current build. Not too different from the previous builds, but I would try to be sneaky. So Gut Shot, turns out, is a really good card against Delver Secrets. Really good against Fairies. I don't know really what my opponent's playing, but it looks like Monoblue Delver. Maybe I should hedge a little tiny bit, but you know what? Hedging sounds bad. So another secret is this one here. Vised Vastwood is not actually that good against Delver, and as a result, I don't really want it. In the main, when I'm expecting to play against a lot of Delver. Longbow is not good against Delver because the match was very tempo based, and spending 3 mana is real tough. Even though if you do get it active, you basically win. But it's just like there was no point in that game where the previous game where a longbow would have been good. If I had exchanged a land for a longbow, that wouldn't have helped me. so I don't really want this. I don't like ledge walkers. Don't like young wolves either. River boa is good against decks with lots of islands. I'm gonna have to make some cuts. If my opponent is on Monoblue Delver, then I just want to take out these guys. And then, so against Monoblue, I want like 1 Gleeful Sabotage. Maybe I'll keep 1 Hunger. Something like this. So I'm kind of letting Gut Shot carry me a little bit. Vault Scourge, it's like okay in some respects and really bad in others. Maybe I just want like 1, like, it's obviously terrible synergy with Scattershot. So usually I have like really good sideboard plans and I'm snap, 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 I'm done. But here, I've just built this 75 and I have no idea what I'm doing. My opponent didn't play anything that targeted my creature, so Vines just is not appealing. I don't want 2 of these. Let's add in another Vines. Well, I don't even know what my opponent's playing, so I mean, I suspect they're Monoblue, but there are lots of things that this could be, and I'm unfamiliar with the logic now. Maybe I should look them up. Maybe they're used to doing logic knot. Who knows? I don't know what my opponent's on. So Immunogenic Growth, well, we'll see how good it is. I'm not really sure. But against fast blue cells, I really want something that costs 0 mana. So that's why Immunogenic Growth in the Gut Shot main deck. I expect to play against Delvers, and I want 0 mana spells that affect the board. Down to turn 2, I'm going to just deal damage, put power on the board. This stuff is straightforward. Now, okay, I'm going to assume my opponent's on Monoblue Delver, but there's just... Let me see here. And 2 weeks ago, were they in that event? No, they weren't. Their name is familiar for some reason. Maybe 3 weeks ago they were in that event. Alright, I don't know why it's familiar. The opponent seems to be holding up Counterspell and or Spellstutter, so I'm not going to walk Scattershot into Spellstutter. It's supposed to go the other way around. I'll play the land because Kyrian encourages that sort of thing. So, something my opponent might do is like decide they want to flash and Spellstutter block Kyrian Ranger, because obviously this position is hopeless from my opponent's point of view. Opponent's not interested, I don't really blame them. I kind of expect a Spellstutter here. Opponent may have a Spire Golem, but Spire Golem has its own problem. Oh, Burning Tree Emissary. Burning Tree Emissary can't be Spellstuttered. And then, if it resolves, then I can use the mana to cast Scattershot. I haven't played the land. Like, I'm thinking about Burning Tree Emissary. Like, just because I want to try and play around Daze. So if I have to cast no. My opponent could have Vapor Snag, I guess. Well, let's see what they have. They can't just do nothing. Right, that's super bad if they do nothing. I wish I had some indicator of whether my opponent was on Delver versus Monoblue control. I'm assuming Delver because, you know, Delver's been popular lately. Alright, there's the Vapor Snag. Vapor Snag holding up Spell Stutter. I can Hunger here. Like, this is why I don't want Hunger in this matchup. Doesn't really do anything. I think I'm going to pass this. I don't really want to cast Rancor into a Snap or something like that. So I'm not going to play the Rancor. I'm just going to go Burning Dream Emissary, Kyrian Ranger. But then here's the thing I was talking about where I get, because I wasn't able to use Kyrian Ranger pre-combat for the 4th mana, I might get dazed. Opponent probably doesn't have daze, but it's possible. And now I've got to commit to the board again, because if my opponent just plays oh. Okay. If my opponent just plays a Spiral Golem, leaves 2 mana up, I'm in trouble. I'm torn between Rancor on the Pit Skulk and the Archer. I think I'm starting to suspect my opponent's on Monoblue control, so I want to get this Rancor down. Because my opponent, like, the scary thing is always 4 mana, Spiral Golem, hold up, counterspell. I'm not scared of my opponent playing a bunch of 1/1 flyers. I'm not scared of Spell Stutter. I suspect this is a Snap. Yeah. Alright, opponent seems to be holding up something. So I can't play Rancor pre-combat. That just doesn't work out for me. Oh, okay. I changed my mind. Maybe I can play Rancor pre-combat. I could get Spell Stuttered. But at least I can't get bounced. There's Rancor here. Like, if my opponent wants a Snap, I get Divines. And that's awesome. My opponent, if they're savvy, would know that there's no way this works out for them if they Snap. Alright, and then bam. You want to block? Opponent is blocking. Time for 0 mana mutagenic growth. Alright, Yoga died. Maybe the correct play there was actually Hunger. Now that I think about it, that makes a lot more sense. I'm used to playing this deck pretty differently. But again, I just want something that's good against Spiral Golem, and a 4/4 is. I was having trouble activating the Hunger, but maybe I shouldn't have been focused on... There's the Spiral Golem, I knew it. Maybe I shouldn't have been focused on activating the Hunger. I should have just focused on trading the Hunger for a card. Okay. Well, I'm going to attack with both. And then Vines. There's no like 0-mana bounce spell I have to worry about, right? Alright, got that Spider Golem. Hit my opponent 4, which is, that's pretty good. I want to untap Scattershot, and I'll play out my hand, including a longbow, which may actually be useful. Gosh, okay. Opponent has 2 islands, not just 1 island in their hand. Okay. Carrion Ranger cannot be blocked effectively. Mutagenic growth. Okay. I will stick Longbow on the Pit Skulk. I'm afraid of counter magic. Not so much of other stuff. Pit Skulk shoots down the Delver. Curfew. Oh, I'm going to return the Scattershot. Yep. Might as well get in my 1 damage ping. Alright, there's a Curfew, which is oh, maybe I wasn't supposed to do that. I was probably just supposed to untap it. But I was afraid of something coming out of the sky and... Alright, how does this work? I was afraid of... I don't know, probably something my opponent just doesn't have. So that was probably a mistake. I'm not used to playing against Curfew. This might be the first time I've had that cast against me as a Stompy deck. But hey. It's fine. My opponent's got a Delver and an Island in their hand. I believe this is a chump. Chump blocking is fine. My opponent, they could have a counterspell, and they could be trying to use it. I don't want to let my opponent counterspell, so I'm just going to pass here. Spider Golem is okay. Second Spider Golem is also okay, because it means my opponent's dead. Delver is fine because it just dies. I ping face. Untap. Alright, now we're in the same position, except my opponent is lower on life. Which means that I might be able... Okay, maybe I can kill my opponent this turn because I have mutagenic growth. Alright, so... in tradition for me, I see myself playing kind of loosely at the beginning, and I've gotta try to be tight here. So, opponent's got 3 cards in their hand. One of them's Delver. So, I could attack with both, and then if my opponent blocks the Pit Skulk, untap the Pit Skulk and ping their face. That puts them dead even through a counterspell. To prevent that, my opponent might cast Spell Stutter. But if my opponent does that, then I can ping the Spell Stutter so that they can't block it. And yeah, I don't think my opponent has any 0-mana interaction. I mean, they could have Daze, but Daze wasn't going to do anything. They could also have Gut Shot, but Gut Shot also doesn't do anything here. So yeah, let's do it. Piracy Charm plus... Well, they could have Vapor Snag. They could have another bounce spell. But wouldn't they have used a bounce spell by now? What am I playing around here? I guess they could have double bounce spell. Like, they'd bounce Vapor Snag the Kyrian Ranger, and then Vapor Snag the Pit Skulk, or Snap, then Vapor Snag. But, again, like, why? They don't just let me do this, right? You don't let me untap with my creature with a longbow on it if you're holding bounce spells. So I assume my opponent's holding a counter spell and therefore doesn't have double bounce spells. So, after all that thinking, I think, what the heck was that? Let's attack here. Let's see what my opponent does. Okay. Do we see a Piracy Charm here? No, no Piracy Charm. Like I could have cast Mutagenic Growth, but now I just want to play it safe. I'm wondering if I start casting spells here. I'll probably do, because they could be holding one... No, they're not holding a bounce spell. They would use it, unless they're holding Vapor Snag Spell Stutter. Well, I don't have to... Oh, okay. Opponent apparently has nothing. I will play around Miscalculation. Alright, my opponent's dead now. Barring, like, Mountain Swirling Sandstorm. Which is not impossible. But barring something crazy like that. Yeah. I mean, there's probably some crazy old blue card in the format that I'm just not thinking of. There's probably a loose attack. I probably should try to ping twice. But yeah, opponent clearly has nothing. Or, I mean, they have something, but it's not relevant. Alright, am I happy with my sideboarding here? I still didn't see any fairies. I was playing around Spell Stutter the whole time, but I didn't see a Spell Stutter. I'm happy with Gleeful Sabotage. Don't want to take out Hunger. Maybe for another Gleeful Sabotage. Sounds pretty loose. Let's put in the Vines. Maybe not having to be afraid of bounce spells will do me some good. Alright. Torn Preordain is fine. So, yeah, this hand, I like to have better one drop than this, but then has a plan. I've been going very slowly. I'm gonna try my best not to get timed out. Now, should I cast double Pit Skulk playing into Spell Stutter, Or should I cast Nest Invader playing to counterspell? I think Pit Skulk, because at least one of them is going to resolve for sure. Deprive. Wow, Deprive on turn 2 is... that's something. Deprive is still not something that I'd be surprised to see out of Monoblue Delver. So, I'm still going to play around Spell Stutters if I can. I think I made the right decision, though, not to play the Delver, the Nest Invader. Opponent plays Delver. I will attack. I will save my creature with Mutagenic Growth, and ooh. Well, I like that. Okay. Alright, I would like to play around days. So I've got to make sure I'm leaving a mana open. And then once I resolve the Nest Invader, days is no longer an issue, and neither is Curfew, by the way. Curfew is not a good card against Nest Invader. And that's probably why I've never played against it. I've never played against Curfew at Stompy. Okay. Opponent hits Curfew. So they flip the Delver, but the spell they hit is not going to do very much. Maybe they can get some combo going where they daze, or they Curfew, make me sack my spawn, and then daze me. So my opponent's hitting for 6. That's a 4-turn combo. Kill. Combo. Okay. I'm going to play Nest Sentinel pre-combat because I would like to cast Vines of Vastwood. And so if they cast Counterspell, I definitely can't cast Mutagenic Growth for the alternate cost. So this is 7 here. I'm threatening to kill my opponent next turn. Bounce spells aren't going to do very much. Just like if my opponent casts Snap, I Vines. If my opponent taps out for Spire Golem, then I can cast Mutagenic Growth for the alternate cost. I can also Vines preemptively on the Pit Skulk, giving it 6 power, which, unless something pretty crazy is going on, is enough to kill my opponent immediately. Okay, opponent's back, so here is the Spire Golem. And opponent just isn't, there's no 0 mana interaction, right? They could have days. I have a Vines and a second one, so let's start. So I'm just going to attack with everything here. I guess, no, Gutshot doesn't save them because they have to not take damage, so they can't take 2 damage to save themselves. Gutshot is a reasonable card for them to have. probably the other things I'm thinking of are not reasonable cards. So I'm just going to cast Vines with Kicker on the Pit Skulk. And then attack with everything. My opponent goes block, block, block. Take 6 plus 1 is 7. And I cast Mutagenic Growth and I have Vines back up. I'm just making sure I've got everything covered. That's an interesting block. Okay. So this is 8. Mutagenic Growth targeting target the Nettle Sentinel. And that is lethal. Yeah. Alright, we got him. So, want to know? There are 63 players in this challenge. I will see you in the next round.